Well, you have to take off the...
Take off on them.
No worries. Yes. It's not white balance?
I'm turning a light on right now, boys. So, stand by. $34. Yeah.
No worries. I'll stand here till everyone
You
says
guys
they're
are white
good.
balanced, I'll turn this light on. I guess I could just leave it on at this point. It says it's got an hour, about an hour and a half.
You guys felt good? Huh? You got it, Jess?
Yes. If you want to get here, and I can come back a little. Yeah.
Just watch people's cords there.
I can go higher too, I think. Oh no, I can't.
There you go. Thank you. I'm good.
Yeah. Yep.
And now I come here to see.
That's a loud.
Okay. It's a fat copyright too.
Yeah, kind of like that one.
Well.
Oh, we're out live? Oh, well, hey man. It happens. Make sure you mention that I was innocent.
Maybe like lower, like that.
I can't get it in the...
Up from the middle there.
Yeah, I think it won't fit through the gap. We have to go through the top, so...
I got
Want to try this?
Daniel, I wonder if we take off the...
Oh yeah, thank you.
I'm going to let you work it while I appreciate it. Julia, you good with that? Okay.
We just...
Do one side of clamp one to the actual plate.
Oh yeah.
So you loosen the middle, hit this thing.
Thanks, Travis.
And then you can adjust this. So like this. Yeah, like this. And then somehow. You get it though, right?
Yeah. And then this clamp
on the post itself.
On the post, okay.
we would need to turn.
Once you go,
Yeah. Or can you? Or are you too tight up?
Tied up. Yeah.
Remember the old FDR days when they had like 70
I just can't get... Oh, there we go. straight.
Try putting it like more on the other side. Like so
Yeah, I think it would need a.
closer to the person talking.
Yeah.
Yeah, if we turn it around.
It should also be on
Because I use it all the time with people.
put
Here.
on the
Exactly.
bottom half is
There. We have a mechanic around there.
There's a whole bunch of them.
It's got to be like a mechanic. They
There
come
we
out
go.
real fast.
Yep.
Perfect.
Check. We'll be right here. Check.
Great.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Thank
Sound. Level.
And you're gonna have to. You're good for that, like when it's wide. Yeah, and then you can.
Okay.
Boy, our mic is just kind of straight up.
Yeah, it's the only bad part about.
I can't do that. I wish I could, but with these live things, you gotta turn it down. At least for me, I'm not like normal. They always do it.
Oh.
Jen, you want me to put that one in my bag?
Huh? Oh yeah. Thanks.
Hello. Welcome.
Hello, Meg.
Yeah, well, good. Just pumped to go get racing. It's very exciting.
You grew up with international events of some sort, but what's the special feeling here at the nation's capital?
I mean, it's I guess a once in a lifetime type deal, right? So it's great to be here, great to be a part of this. And, it's a great opportunity for any card to also be noticed in America more because it deserves, because it is a great championship. Well, still the same on those discussions.
Yeah, I feel like
you're at a point where you're almost trying to prove yourself as the season goes along to secure that contract for next year somewhere.
People know what I can do.
Louis last week and Kyle as well after they won. I talked about the lack of radius walls. Does that make you, not more excited for this week, but maybe more comfortable going around corners this week?
No, I mean, we all have the same issue at the end of the day, right? Those walls are a little unpredictable. Sometimes they stick out a bit more than what they should, and obviously, in that case, for all three of us, it was a bit of an unfortunate one. Just because simply when you do touch these walls, they kick the wheel out of your hands, and they have potential risk injuries, which are not necessary at the moment anymore at this time of day. This time of age, sorry. So, yeah, hopefully we'll be able to make it work.
So I don't know how long you've been here, but have you had a chance to look around or see anything, see the track at all, and what are your thoughts?
So we arrived yesterday, and I didn't get to go to the museum. The track wasn't quite ready yet. I didn't have my hard card on me. I forgot it, so I wasn't allowed on track. But yeah, I'll be able to go see that today.
What's for you, just with, you're in the middle of rookie year, but we're also talking about like next year and where you'll be and how things are going to play out. I mean, what's the frustration level for you, or does it just feel like kind of business as usual at this point?
Frustration?
Of just having to continue to look for what your next home is going to be, etc.
Oh, I don't have to look. I know where it's going. It just takes time.
So you know where you're going?
It takes time.
Like a good PR person.
Okay. He's coming back. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, thanks for playing, everybody.
And that was your QR.
So it's tomorrow 9. We start again tomorrow 9 a.m.
We'll try again tomorrow. Yeah. Enjoy the lunch. We'll see you tomorrow. Thank you. Okay. Roman, let's go here.
Everyone, this is a track that no one has raced before.
Yes.
Veterans such as yourself, you don't have an edge over the rookies. At the same time, you can't learn from this year's mistakes for next year. How's that affecting you? How's that affecting how you race this weekend?
Nothing different from last week. No one raced on the track before, right? It's a new track, and it's always exciting to be in your career and discover new places. So I just think it's amazing to be in DC, racing here, and having such a warm welcome from the whole city.
How do you plan to handle, or rather, can you explain what some of the issues that you guys face with new street courses and how you're planning to address them, handle them yourself?
Yeah, well, the tricky part is that we don't know like the bumps and the grip level and the radius of the corners. So there's a lot that we need to learn, and it's a 2-day event, so that makes it a bit more tricky, because normally we have Friday night to think about what we're going to do on Saturday. Here you have to react very quickly. But again, I think we all have great experience with the cars, and we know that the bump and the white lines and change of grip are the challenges on the street course.
La même chose en français.
What was the question?
The issues that you find with new tracks
Ah oui.
and how you plan.
Alors, une nouvelle piste, c'est toujours un challenge intéressant pour nous, de découvrir quels sont les bosses, comment sont les virages exactement, quel est le niveau de grip sur la piste, et de s'adapter. C'est vrai que d'habitude on a une journée d'essai le vendredi ou une séance d'essai le vendredi, ça nous permet de travailler avant le samedi. Là, ça ne sera pas le cas, c'est un week-end sur 2 jours, donc il va falloir être assez réactif et bon tout au long de la journée de samedi, et dimanche la course va être longue, donc il y aura pas mal d'opportunités.
How do you feel being here in this American celebration?
Sorry?
How do you feel being here in this American celebration?
I mean, US welcomed myself and my family a few years ago now, and we've been very happy here. So, very grateful to that, and very grateful to be in the capital and be racing in front of such a great crowd.
And how do you prepare for such an event, such a unique event? How does that change your preparation for
We have a race every week this month, so the preparation is fairly easy. Go to a race, go back home, sleep a couple of days, and go to the next one. So we all have a baseline setup for street course, and hopefully that works well. Again, we will have practice to adapt, but yes, it's going to be a sprint to get to Sunday, and then Sunday is going to be a marathon, long race.
And then, do you have any concerns over the track?
I have not seen much. I have not done any simulator yet, so once we're done here, I'm going to go and walk it, or draw on a golf cart and see what it's like. But I know a lot of effort has been put into it.
How high are the stakes for you? Like, how do you compare this race to regular races in the circuit? Like, how does it compare, say, to the Indy 500 or something like that?
I think, let's see what the race brings and how the atmosphere is. But for sure, it's a big event for all of us. We're very happy to be here, very excited and proud to be racing in front of the White House of the President of the United States. It's just going to be a great show. So I can't tell you until I've seen what race day looks like, but I'm sure it's going to be amazing.
Do you think about the audience at this race? Of course, you're going to have thousands of people who are just excited to see the race, but you're also going to have like a lot of members of Congress, politicians, and stuff like that. Does that in any way change your mentality? Have you met any of them before? Have they talked to you?
No, I think we are very grateful for that opportunity. I think it's going to be amazing, and as you said, there's going to be a lot of very important people here, including the president. So we're all very excited to be racing in front of such a crowd, but also very excited to get to a new market for us. First time that IndyCar race in DC, and we are able to bring a lot of new fans to the sport.
Speaking of new market, sorry, just because it's related, would you like to see more East Coast races?
Well, yeah, I live on the East Coast, so it makes it easier, right? I think that we've seen with Arlington this year and Markham that when we go to big cities, the crowd is present and the fans are coming. So it's definitely something that we have to keep in mind for future races, to go to iconic places and make sure that we are going where the people are.
Roman, coming off your
podium last week. Does that change your perspective and your expectations going into this street course this weekend?
Oh, well, no, I've learned with years that expectations are never easy to know. I think last week was a very good weekend for us, and we got the car to work in a really good place. So my only hope is that the tarmac is kind of similar, and we get the car to work as good as it did last week. Thank you.
So this is the first time, for this known fact, the first time anyone has raced this specific track. It puts, no one has previous experience to bring into this race. At the same time, you guys don't, any lessons learned now, it's not like you can apply them next year. How does that affect your approach to this race?
Well, it shouldn't be quite different because the aim is still to just generate as much experience as possible in as little time as possible, right? So for us, that should not impact the way we approach this weekend. Because also, even if we are planning, let's say, to gather information for the year after, it doesn't really change for us because we still want to go through all the specific details that we need for a race weekend, and as a result, that is the information that we gather for the year after.
How does it affect you guys? How does it affect the track to not have, a whole lot of support races beforehand, not a whole lot of rubber on the track? Plus, we're having rain on Saturday now.
Yeah, well, it makes for a slower track cleanup and a slower progression in track grip, as you say. So for us, it's going to be maybe a more consistent, if that makes sense. There's less evolution throughout the weekend, so every evolution that we go through is from ourselves.
What does it mean to be the nation's captain at the present?
I don't know. I haven't done it yet, so it'll be for sure exciting. I'm sure. It's a great event, and it's a great opportunity for IndyCar.
How has your mentality changed going into this season?
It hasn't. It's the same as usual. I think it's always a bad thing if you try and do something special, and that's why we just keep things as clean and as consistent as we can.
But somehow it's special for you.
Well, of course it is special, but the approach of the race weekend is not going to change.
Do you guys wish you had more races over here on the East Coast in general, especially as part of the regular calendar?
I think it's great that we're racing all over the country, on the East Coast or the West Coast or even Central America. I mean, they all have their beautiful parts, and I think as IndyCar, hopefully we'll grow more in the future. We'll be also having more races added to it, and why not more on the East Coast too? One in New York, maybe.
Have you had a chance to explore DC a little bit?
Just yesterday, we went to see some museums. That was it. The one that's actually right across here, the Gallery of Art, which was pretty interesting, and we went to the the aircraft. How was it called?
Air and Space.
Air and Space, yes, the Air and Space, which was really fun.
And about the art museum, there have been some reports that they have to board up some of the art because of the cars zooming by. Have you heard anything to that effect? And some people kind of pushing back on that disruption?
Okay, I have not heard that, and it didn't look like it yesterday. All the art was still there, and everybody seemed very, happy to go and see it, and didn't seem like they were hanging it off. And that's just what I saw.
Thank you.
I appreciate it.
So with not being in the sim, this is running this thing old school. How do you learn? Well, that's true. Well, so how do you learn a track? I mean, what do you have to do? What's that process like when you have to
Hello, Ringo.
learn a track? And
So here we are in the streets of Washington, away from the Netherlands. What does this city mean to you?
It is really cool. Going to try. We didn't get so much. We don't really USA level. We don't know. At least I didn't. But learning so much about it. We're all online, open mind, museums, and so and every building has very cool and getting to
Europe has all kinds of historical artifacts. The ones here are relatively new compared to Europe, but you just get that sense of history whenever you see the U.S. Capitol, the White House, the Washington D.C., any of those.
Well, for sure, and there's stuff that wows you, right? It's not just less that we recognize what's in the building. It's that we found a home. The space is well used here, so it's very cool to see, and especially when you walk along National Mall, kind of along the track, you'll see kind of everything that
Yeah, you go up to if you want to see know obviously the facilities and stuff going on, what have you. You're being connected to it now for 3 years in a row. Whenever you kind of, we're talking about big programs, SU's going to ask you to see this
make some
program
calls.
grow since you come back to it, because obviously y'all knock out.
really grown. The program is obviously a building. We started out well. The only road and street course testing Ohio, fourth place, coming up 18th place in North America. And now we're getting fourth place in Portland and the second place in Markham. So we're growing quick.
When you see kind of just how things are going to play out, do you like to see yourself in the program when it has more resources, or would you like to see yourself
I want to see myself in this.
Oh, and I got a couple right away here and there.
Actually, around here, they might not do that.
I think so. That's well. The least, like the first of our goals. I think fast stakes, kind of depending on the track, especially street courses. Fast ball, from there it's going to go anywhere. I guess where are you at? I feel like we're closing in. Like also my idea of what I say, all the other guys are going to do is kind of starting to shape. It seems more,
This is local.
more. I'm kind of starting to understand what it's going to look like. So yeah, I think we're not too far out.
I'll see you guys in a second.
Hello. How you guys doing?
Pretty good. Have you guys had a chance to explore any of the parts of DC outside of downtown where residents have been, or no?
I just got here.
Literally
Yeah.
today?
Sorry?
Literally today?
I got here last night, like late, and then we came straight to the track. That's typical for us where we don't get a lot of time to really look at anything. I mean, I'm going to try and make it a point, but this is a condensed weekend to go maybe see some of the museums and whatnot. But yeah, there's not a whole lot of option for us as athletes to go around.
Speaking of a condensed weekend, how does this the duration of the race, like A, the weekend, but B, also the actual race itself, how's that affecting your approach to things?
It's not going to be easy for us. Knowing that it's not going to be easy kind of changes your approach. Maybe physically, when you eat, times that you wake up, try and prioritize sleep and refueling yourself, no pun intended. So yeah, with 3 on-track sessions tomorrow, and then the race that's going to be 147 laps, that's very, very long for us racing drivers. Typically street courses at this kind of lap time, you see about 90 to 100. So 147 is going to be very hard on us. And you got to remember, these cars, whatever the ambient is, probably add another 30 degrees of internal temp where we sit inside the car with the radiators and heat exchangers. So it's going to be very, very physical for us.
How about the 90-degree turns? How does that affect, or even greater ones once you hit Pennsylvania?
Yeah, it's we're used to courses like this, right? We just came from Markham, which is up in Toronto, which is another street course. So we go to many street courses on the calendar, and this is very, very typical of what you might see at other street courses. And the way that they've set it up, they've done a really, really good job to make sure that it's going to race well, it looks good, our cars go around it well, there's been a lot of preparation. So for us, I think it fits our needs very, very well.
I know you're a professional. You're going to say that your approach to this race is the same as any other race. But when you do look up and you see the National Mall, you see the Capitol building, does that kind of change anything in your mind about what it feels like to participate in a race like this?
I think this race itself weighs a little bit more maybe than others, right? You look at our biggest races of the year. You look at the Indy 500. You look at places like Long Beach, maybe St. Petersburg, ones where there's a lot of fans, there's a lot of viewership on TV, and this one is going to be one of the biggest, right? It actually might end up being bigger than the 500. We don't know yet, right? So that weighs a lot in our determination and how much we want to win this race. So in some ways, yes, it's the same protocol and the way that we go about trying to develop a car that goes fast, but there's maybe a little bit extra behind us to really want to make sure we win this one.
Could you say a little bit more about that, like the idea of this being bigger than the Indy 500? Like, how does, it's a one-off, of course, but like, what's your thought process there?
Yeah, obviously it's a one-off race for all of us, but I mean, look where we're at. We're in DC. We're going around the Capitol building, or next to the Capitol building, around the museums, Pennsylvania Avenue. There's a lot of history that's involved with this, and it's gotten a lot of hype from the media, from the teams, from all the fans. A lot of people are looking at this, which puts a little bit of extra pressure on all of us drivers to make sure that we go out there and we perform.
Obviously you want to win, but what would it mean, is it important to you, and maybe you've spoken to some of the other racers, for an American to win this race?
Well, I mean, we're not in cahoots to make sure that an American wins, right? We all want to beat each other. I think it'd be really cool for an American to win, right? Hopefully myself first and foremost. But quite honestly, it's going to be like any other race. You never really know, and that's the great thing about IndyCar racing. You never know who's going to win the race, and I think we'll perform very, very well. Our American drivers will perform very, very well, but there's no guarantees.
And about the audience, so there are going to be thousands of people in attendance, but of course we're in the nation's capital. There are going to be a lot of politicians, the president. Does that change your mentality, just the fact that there's going to be this much attention from a lot of powerful people? Have you thought about that at all coming into this race?
Not really, if I'm being honest, just hope that they're all fans and they're all enjoying the race, right? I think that weighs the most. If they're all here, they appreciate it, we put on a good show, and we build up IndyCar, build up our teams, build up the drivers. I think that's the most important thing for us.
Have any of them checked in with you, chatted with you leading up to the race?
I came to the Senate about 3 weeks ago, and there was a lot of excitement on both sides, right? It was pretty cool to see. Like we had a goal of going in there meeting with about 7 or 8 senators, and by the end of it, we met with about 15 senators. So it was awesome to see the hype around this event and how excited everyone is. Yeah, so we have 3 new tracks on the schedule this year. It's a bit of all the same. We do a lot in simulation. We have a driver in the loop, is what we call it, which is a simulator that we drive. We set up the track as close as it might possibly be, and then we go through everything, maybe all the other tracks that we look at across the year, and be like, okay, what's most similar about this corner, this top speed, this straight distance, and we try and set up the car around that. That's the most preparation that we can do, but as us drivers, today we'll go out there, we'll look at the track and try and just figure out what our brake references, what our apex references, and how close the walls are, where you can get in trouble, where you can actually maybe push a little bit harder. It's all kind of just adapting to the environment that we're in. I'm sorry, what was the question? It's an honor. It's a privilege, like to be here in DC, to drive an IndyCar, to do my profession around these streets is a dream come true. That was more than one word, but.
Kyle, we're for a marathon weekend, obviously, with the longest street race we've had in a while. Coming off the chaos that we had in Marco last week, is there an expectation? I think we went into it last weekend expecting chaos, red flags, crashes. Is there an expectation to have a more difficult race, or is it, how's the approach compared to
I think the way the track is set up doesn't breed as many yellows and reds and cautions that we had maybe at Markham, just given the nature of all the 90-degree corners. But it's typical of every street course to have some carnage sometimes. I mean, if you make a mistake, you're in a concrete wall. These cars are fragile. As soon as you touch one, the car is destroyed. It's going to cause a yellow. Of course, we hope for that not to happen, especially on the 27 side. But it can and probably will happen at some point in the weekend.
How's it affecting, to not have that many support races earlier, like to basically have less rubber on the road?
It does affect things, of course. We always like it as IndyCar drivers when a lot of other cars are on the track and they're able to rubber in the track and create some grip and maybe some uncertainty or eliminate some uncertainty. But it's all stuff that it's the same for everybody, right? It's the same. We just have to adapt. We have to understand the grip level. We got to understand the evolution and predict and prepare as well as we can. Cool. Thank you, guys.
Hello. You've been one of the American faces of this event that you've seen in New York City. Just kind of talk about that.
You had 4 stop by here? 3.
We're missing these.
Okay.
On the face after
Willis is here. Willis is controlling.
Yeah, it's good.
Of the ones that is there anyone else coming?
We got 4 more coming.
4 more. Okay. Cool.
Yeah, in the next few minutes.
With Joseph, we had a bunch of major hits, and in all preparation to one of the best races of the year, hopefully for us. It feels much like the Indy 500 in the sense of the Indy cars that we've had.
Is there a sense, I've asked all the drivers this, is there a desire to maybe take it a little bit easy at the beginning of this thing and represent the sport well, or is it once that visor goes down?
The other drivers been saying.
Well, Roman Grosjean asked me if I had seen an IndyCar race before, so
I think he's more on the timid side. No, I'm just trying as hard as I can from the get-go. No, I'm kidding. No, it's 147 laps, right? I mean, you look at it in stages. Like the beginning of the race, okay, it matters, but it was on its head at any point in the middle part. Okay, you need to start working your way towards the front, and at the end, you got to be at the front, and that kind of dictates exactly how hard you want to push or how much risk you want to take. That's pretty typical of any IndyCar race. Races long here, so the stages.
You described a very similar race to the one that you ran in Arlington right there, which you won. What is it like to come to a new street course and perform the way you did in Arlington? How do you kind of embrace that?
Quite honestly, it started with development within the team. Our cars were really, really good at Arlington. They were really, really good last weekend at Markham. Our race pace has been phenomenal, especially on new street courses. And so I think we're definitely in the hot seat for the team that is like what it's to. So we're excited for this one. This is going to be the trifecta for us on new street courses. So we're very excited for it.
Irene,
Hello.
Have you had a chance to go out of downtown and see parts of DC where people live? How does it live up to expectations? Or
Yes, well, got here yesterday around 4 p.m., so never been to DC in general, so I tried to see just, as much of the landmarks as I could until the rain came in, and then we kind of took some shelter and had dinner, but it's really incredible city so far that, from what I've seen, especially where the track is built, everywhere you look, there's landmarks.
How's it, this is it's, been mentioned a million times that this is the first time that this happens. That's also the last time. How's it like to come in, without previous experience of the track itself, but also knowing that you can't learn from any mistakes this year for next year?
No, it's going to be our first time here. It's going to be tough, but there's some tracks that look similar to this one, looking at the corners and looking at the surface. So that's how we go back to our previous data and scoop up everything we can to make a package that works for this track. And it's going to be a bit of adjustment, especially with the chance of rain tomorrow. I think that's going to be something we all have to work around. But nice part is there's 24 other drivers that have to deal with the same thing.
Can we get that same answer in Dutch?
Sorry?
Can we get that?
Same answer in Dutch? What was the question?
How are you adjusting? Like it's your first time here, but also last time.
Het is natuurlijk de eerste keer dat we hier zijn. En ook de enige keer. Dus het is belangrijk dat we terug gaan naar de data van de circuits die wij al kennen. Met vergelijkbare bochten, vergelijkbare rechterstukken en hobbels. Dus kijken naar de data die we hebben en daarvan een setup samenstellen die hier werkt. Maar er zijn 24 andere coureurs hier die hetzelfde uit moeten vogelen. Dus ja, en het wordt wel een heel speciaal weekend.
Could you tell us how you being here this American celebration of Swiss?
Yeah, it's really cool to be here. IndyCar has been around since the early 1900s, and now 200 years of America. Just being alive this one time, being an IndyCar, that this is happening is just very, very unique, and kind of proud of being here and being part of it. So it's going to be very exciting, and it's going to be IndyCar is always a show, but this is going to be something on its own.
Recently got your green card
Yes.
here, so what does it mean for you to compete in the nation's capital in front of the president?
It's an honor for sure. I'm kind of starting to build my family here and getting settled in the United States. I've got a lot of opportunities here in my career, so it's really cool to be here. And of course, just having done the green card, the whole green card thing. It's not easy to get one, but once you're in, it's just very nice. And never been to the nation's capital as well, so this is hopefully the first step towards getting my citizenship in a few years.
How does it change? How does it affect your approach to this race to have less rubber on the road, the increased duration? This was originally supposed to be shorter. All these factors that went in. How does it affect you?
It changed the approach a little bit, for sure. Usually we have a lot of support series. Right now we only got IROC. I think we got 2 practices and 2 races. So it's going to be interesting. And for the extra duration, it is what it is. It's about similar to the 500, I think, the time span of the race. And we get an extra set of tires, which will open up the strategy, I think. And we all have to use 2 sets of the soft tire, the red tire, in this race, but we will primarily have to run the hard black sidewall tire, which it'll shake things up for sure.
Rinus, this race is getting the level of attention that we normally see at the 500, so what is your reaction to seeing the hype surrounding this?
I think it's great. I care a lot about IndyCar and their media attention and how they can grow. And I think this is the biggest opportunity they've had in years. So, it kind of feels like a 500 type of event with the spectacle that surrounds it. And I love flyovers. I'm really excited for the flyover. And, just the amount of new fans that will get into the sport, especially here in the Northeast.
Are you hoping to, especially with the schedule changes, especially with Fox, having your stake, are you hoping that this opens up a road to more East Coast races?
I think for sure, yes. I remember, 9 years ago, we raced in Watkins Glen. I was in the junior series, but I think it was an incredible showing. Really nice to be there. Of course, that's in upstate New York, but I think it's a great market for IndyCar to go to. So happy to get this one on the schedule, and hopefully we can get something permanent that's in a neighborhood around here. Great. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Give me a second. No, but I got a free putter.
A lot of people are talking about how this race is bringing a lot of new fans to this sport. What do you hope spectators take away from this?
We hope that they fall in love with it. I think we have the best race.
Ooh, it's like an obstacle course.
Thank you.
Yes.
Cars, every form of racetrack. We're a very diverse series amongst the drivers, the racetracks, everything that is about it. And we hope that they understand it, they fall in love with it, and they start to watch more races. That's okay. You want to grow on bus drivers? You've got it. You plan to do a lot before you go. I got asked a similar question a second ago. I wish I had more time too. Right? It's a historic place. I think with the luxury of being able to travel here before, maybe
that's where that's where we spend. Yeah, that's where.
We went to the Capitol building, which was awesome. Senate offices, that was really cool. I didn't know this is the first time I might be young as a race driver, but I didn't know that you would go in there and just take the go through the scanner, they kind of check your IDs and everything. That was wild. But yeah, it's honestly just seeing it all, just being around here and seeing it all, it's special. Thank you guys.
That's what we need to do. That's what we need to do to shut down the Beltway.
Hello, Joseph. Trying to be polite here. I like the way he said it.
How you doing?
We're pretty good. Have you how is the shortened schedule and at the same time the lengthened races affect that approach?
Well, fortunately, we got a good preview of the shortened schedule last weekend. We did a 2-day event. Wasn't planned, but we got a good preview of it. So it won't be too big of a deal. We do this earlier in the year for the NDGP as well. The distance will be interesting for sure. It's unique in the sense that this will be our longest non-oval race by a long shot. So it'll be pretty dynamic in terms of the strategy, and there will be a lot of variables that we don't usually have to deal with. So I think that'll make for a really exciting show.
How does it affect you guys that, anything you learn this year, you can't really apply it next year, it's one and done?
Yeah, I mean, I think all street courses have similar characteristics, right? The surface is not as smooth as you would have on a normal racetrack. The cambers are unique to allow for drainage for city streets. There's manhole covers, crosswalks. So I think a lot of the application that you'll have here, even if we don't come back, will apply when we go back to St. Pete, Detroit, Long Beach, etc.
And speaking of St. Pete, would you guys like to see more East Coast races?
I think we all just want to see more races. This has been a market that has been missing from the series since I think 2019-ish was the last time we were at Pocono on the East Coast. Watkins Glen as well isn't on the calendar anymore, so it's great to be here in DC for a lot of reasons, but one is just filling a hole in kind of the schedule that we have in this market. So it'd be amazing to get more races up here.
If you could pick any city, what would you want?
I mean, this is the one for sure, but obviously logistically that's probably not possible. But I've always thought a street course race in Philadelphia would be amazing. Obviously we had Baltimore several years ago at this point, but anything that you can do in this area, obviously Boston, New York, but I would say Philly would make the most sense for us. Well, I think weather's top of mind. Obviously Sunday looks fine, but we all know how these things change. I think the big thing is usually a street course race is a 2 or 3 stop race. It's very cut and dry. 2 stop if you want to do a fuel save race, 3 stop if you want to go flat out to the end. To make this the distance that it is and have it be a 4 stop race, I think it's just going to put a different emphasis on how you manage the tires throughout the race. You have to run 2 types of compounds twice. And it's just an unknown that we haven't had to deal with. It's the same for everybody, but it will open up the strategy options a little bit more than what you usually see on these types of races, which is very exciting, but also you want to make sure that you're making the right decisions.
And being in the nation's capital, what does that mean to you?
Oh, it's a huge honor. I mean, obviously, the NTT IndyCar Series is a U.S. championship by nature, but this is the home race, if you will. So it's a huge privilege and responsibility as well to represent ourselves and our teams and our sport in front of an audience that maybe wouldn't be paying attention to the race otherwise. And I think it's a great opportunity for all involved, and obviously celebrating a much bigger thing in terms of the country's birthday, but being able to put on a pretty good show for everyone is also top of mind.
Lay out the stakes for you personally for this race. How does it compare, say, in terms of media attention and like all the coverage and stuff like that? It feels like Indy 500. For you, personally, how does it compare in terms of stakes, in terms of what races?
Yeah, I would say it's like a lot of the big events we have. I think comparing it to Indy is probably correct. But at the same time, you're going through the same process that you do every week, whether it's here or Portland or Toronto or Milwaukee next weekend. It's the same thing. It's just different locations. So this part of it's amazing. Like this morning and yesterday, being able to be a part of the First Lady's Fostering the Future event and being in the Rose Garden. That's obviously not something you're experiencing at other events. And then just now coming from a kind of a private tour with the Secret Service and seeing the beast up close, like that's all elements that you're ticking off bucket list items more than thinking about a race weekend. But as I said, like it all falls back to, once you get into tomorrow and you get into practice and the cadence of practice, qualify, you'll try and remind yourself of where you are and the magnitude of it, but you'll fall into just the status quo of just trying to execute.
Is it important to you, and perhaps to some of the American drivers, that an American wins the race?
That's always important. Doesn't matter where you are. There's one non-American that seems to be winning a lot that we will try and not let that happen.
Alex,
Cool.
what is the media reaction to this race that is at the level basically of Indy 500 already, and the race hasn't even happened yet?
I think it's to be expected, right? There's a whole lot that has gone into making this event a reality, and considering it's a one-off event and where we're doing it, like it makes sense. And I think it's a huge thing for our sport. And as I said before, just an incredible opportunity for everyone involved. Sorry. It would be great. It would be great. A lot of hurdles to overcome before we get to that point, but I think this one would rank up there as one of the most prestigious and amazing ones you could ever win. Sweet guys, thank you.
Thank you.
Hi. How are you guys handling some of the, or what are some of the issues you guys regularly face with new street courses, and how are you defining to approach it?
I'd say some of the things that, new street courses is setup. As drivers, you're trying to get the car right, and every track's a little different, every asphalt's different. Being in the Northeast versus being in Texas, the way that everything's done. So that's one of the biggest challenges. Once you get out there, the corners, it's left, right. So you have braking markers, brake zones. So we get repetition on the track. But being able to help the engineers and aid them making the car better for yourself is probably one of the biggest challenges.
how does it affect you guys to have like this shortened weekend schedule at the same time having the extended, actual racing time?
I like it. I think I'm a huge fan of the 2-day weekend schedule. I think that's something that we should adopt on street courses and ovals. I get it for fanfare and stuff why we do 3 days, but I like coming in, doing, all our stuff Friday and then just on track Saturday because you can get into a good rhythm. And then the extended race is awesome. So doing 250 miles is going to be sweet. So, yeah.
Yeah, just a basic one. What does it mean for you to be doing this race in the nation's capital? Will it feel different with the Capitol building, the mall, all of the sights and sounds around the race?
Yeah, especially as an American, right? I mean, you're coming here. This is the world stage essentially, and all the monuments, the museums, capitals, all the buildings. I got to go tour the Capitol this morning, and I didn't realize how big it was. So, getting in to go see where the Senate holds their votes and all that stuff is phenomenal. I got to go in the cloakroom. I actually called my wife from there. Thought it was funny. But no, it's special. I mean, getting what the city's done for us and, open the doors and how accommodating everybody's been has been phenomenal. I mean, I don't think that it's like this everywhere we go sometimes, but, to be here this weekend, this year, as an American, it's pretty unique.
Have you had a chance to explore outside of downtown?
Oh, sorry, yeah. It's pretty awesome. I mean, to be competing in front of any sitting president is something spectacular. And the fact that we were able to do this is just amazing with the timing, too. I mean, we're all thrilled as drivers. I mean, it's one of those things to where we're the one sport that gets to come here and do this. And like I said, it's going to be historical in so many different ways. And, yeah, we're just very grateful for the opportunity.
Any plans to visit the White House?
I don't know. I hope so. I think if you win the race, hopefully you get a tour. But I just got to go to the Capitol and do some other really fun things this week. Yeah.
Have you had a chance to explore outside of downtown?
Yeah, I was in Georgetown last night for dinner. Going to go try and check out the wharf before I go home as well. But, I mean, I grew up in Connecticut, so, it's just nice to be back in the Northeast.
Do you want to keep coming? Do you want more East Coast races in general, like as a permanent part of the calendar?
Yeah, I do believe the Northeast should be something permanent for us. I do think we have a great fan base here. Whether we can hopefully stay here in D.C. or race at tracks like Richmond or Pocono, that would be phenomenal. But I do think IndyCar needs to be up here.
Have you spoken with some of the other drivers about or some of the other American drivers about hoping that an American actually wins the race? Is that something that's important to you?
I think it'd be something that's really cool. I mean, I don't necessarily think that it's important to me. I think we focus on ourselves. So one of those things to where we all want to win just as bad as the next guy. But yeah, I think it would be a little different if American won the race. But at the end of the day, you have the Indy 500. We all think the same thing there too. So, but I mean, our field's so diverse, and that's one of the beautiful things about our sport is you have drivers from all over the globe competing.
Speaking of visiting the Capitol, have you had a chance to meet any politicians, any of the senators, representatives leading up to the race? And the fact that they'll all be in attendance around the president, does that in any way change kind of the stakes or how it's going to feel to be on the track?
I've met a few this year, not necessarily since I've been here, but yeah, it's needless to say everybody's super excited, and I'm sure we'll see a bunch of them in the pits and just be fun to shake hands. It's just cool to meet these people. I mean, our country is such an amazing country. Just like I said, it's wild to be here. It's regardless what time we're here and all that stuff. It's going to be super cool. So I'm excited to see everybody coming out. So I'm excited what they've done with the fans too, with the tickets and the way that they did to give away, and they made this a free event for people to come to as well. So it's really cool. So, yeah, thank you.
What was the feeling like when you're there in front of the president and other very important people?
I've asked all the drivers this. You mentioned how much is anything wrong beyond this race. Is there any kind of a sense that you have to take it easy or that this is just another race?
I think you're one thing, two more, but we're definitely making the calendar.
It's important like any other motivation, similar to anywhere else that you go. Moments when you go, everything you got to do, they're all different. And then on the other hand, I think you do need to think about the length of this race. I don't think it will be that different to a standard sprint circuit. You're talking about adding another standard.
Ross? Russ, he started here, right?
Yeah, he started here right from the
Accidental preview of the 2 days on track last week. Does that make you feel more prepared about how chaotic and long tomorrow might be?
Hello.
Hi, how's it been? Have you had a chance to explore DC outside of downtown?
I have, yeah. I've had a quick look around. It's a good spot for food and coffee and all the rest of it. So, also quite a young vibe here. A lot of young people around, like certainly on one side of the city at least. And so far, I'm enjoying it.
How's it met your expectations?
My first impression is there's a lot more mosquitoes here than I was expecting. I don't know if you guys have the same feeling, but there's like so many mosquitoes in this city. Last night I got woken up, so tonight I'm going to do a bit of strategy prior to going to bed, kill the mosquitoes in sight, and then just see how it goes.
How about the strategy on track? How does it affect to have the shortened weekend and the length of races?
What is your experience been like?
Different strategy. We're gonna see. I mean, it's a new track, so we don't exactly know how it's going to be, but it's a long race. So ultimately, when it's a long race, you got to get to the checkered flag, right? So especially on a track that nobody really knows, we don't know how the strategy is going to play out. We don't know there's so many unknowns, which is fun, you know. Like where there is chaos, there's opportunity. So I think it's going to be a fun weekend all around.
We've got, when it comes to this track specifically, you know, rookies, veterans are all, you know, on the same footing, you know, in terms of direct exposure. Do you see a chance for some of the younger drivers to, you know, take advantage of this?
Of course, yes. But in the race, it's a completely different animal. Like you have to, you know, we saw even last weekend on a new street circuit, the way the strategy plays out, it's just like it's like going to the casino sometimes. Sometimes you might find yourself in the lead, you know, out of nowhere, or you might be leading the whole day and just, you know, get clobbered by a back marker. Like that's just the reality of street course racing. So I'm not really sure. I think the ultimate thing is you need to be fast and just stay out of trouble.
What are the stakes like? What do the stakes feel like going into this race compared to some of the other races? Does it compare at all to the Indy 500? I think in terms of media attention, it seems like there's a lot of eyeballs on this one. What does it feel like for you as
Yeah, certainly there's a lot of eyeballs on this race, which is cool. I mean, it's great for the series. I think as well, like it's a very different weekend to what we're used to. You know, we're racing almost every single weekend, and this one has certainly been circled on the calendar as, you know, what's it going to be like? We don't know. And I think it would mean a lot to win here, just based on obviously the history of the event, being the 250, the birthday of America, let's say. I know I'm not American, but it would be extremely special to win. And then obviously the attendance, like it's going to be quite crazy. It's going to be remarkable how many people are here. I think probably second to the Indy 500. So, yeah, if you're going to win on a street course, it may as well be this one.
Would it be satisfying to kind of steal the show in a way for a non-American to win on this 250 celebration?
Well, there's more non-Americans than Americans, so I think if you look at it statistically, an American's not going to win. I'm just speaking from statistics, of course. Yeah, I want to be the one that steals it. Also, I want to be the 300th IndyCar race winner. I think it's 300, I believe. So there's been 299 winners. The 300th needs to be me. So should be this weekend. Sorry? Well, firstly, the weather. It could rain tomorrow. Could rain all day. So we could rock up on Sunday having not done any driving here in the drive, which is fine. I mean, like, it's kind of, you know, we're professionals. It's our job to adapt to the situation that we're in. So the weather's going to throw a curveball, no doubt. And then obviously
just the race itself. You know, we're starting in a very, very tight corner, and when everyone has a lot of urgency and the race starts in a tight corner, there's always action. So you've got to make it through the first lap and be there at the end.
And you're competing in front of the sitting U.S. president. What does that mean to you?
I mean, it's fantastic. It's fantastic to have the amount of attention. The global media will be obviously watching this all over the world. So I think it's a great opportunity for the series and all the drivers, and the race winner is going to feel very, very proud.
Hey, how's it going?
What approach are you guys taking to this shortened weekend but extended race?
Yeah, it's going to be kind of tough, you know. We get right into it tomorrow and get after it. It's, yeah, not a lot of time to really think. It's just kind of got to roll off the trucks well and make the right decisions quickly, and then we just got to keep it clean through the long race, you know, and try to make as few mistakes as possible in such a long race. It's always a difficult task, and I think, yeah, it's going to kind of open up people to kind of try new things, and that's usually where people make mistakes, but you have to do that carefully almost.
Yeah. And how does it affect your approach to, you know, have the rain on Saturday, dry on Sunday, and how does the simulator compare to practice sessions?
First, with the rain Saturday, dry Sunday, you know, that's gonna definitely shake some things up, make it very interesting. With such limited practice time, it's already, you know, you want to get as many laps as possible, but with the rain being kind of threatening, you definitely want to get as many laps as possible. And if we end up qualifying in the rain, that can make things very interesting and really shake things up. So yeah, it's going to be a big learning day tomorrow, and then into Sunday as well. If we could get into Sunday, and that could be the first time we're on the track in the dry. So yeah, it's going to be difficult for sure, but I think it's something that the teams are prepared for. And then on the sim, it's helpful, but it's only so helpful when they don't actually have data from the actual track. So, it's nice to get your references on where the turns are and where everything goes, but once you actually get out on track, everything is always quite a bit different.
Yeah, and obviously with the Fox stake in IndyCar, things are changing, and out there we're seeing some changes now. Would you like to see more East Coast permanent East Coast races?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's always nice having a race out here on the East Coast, and I think other than like St. Pete, kind of is our furthest East Coast race. So yeah, it would be nice to have one out here, and it seems like the fans out here are very passionate for it, which I love to see, and love to see that everyone's really showing up around IndyCar, and so yeah, I would be absolutely for a race out here.
Kip, and I think the Cayman Islands are British territory, so what would it mean to sneak away with a win at a race where we're celebrating American independence?
I mean, I'm also an American citizen, so it's kind of home race as well, like in a way, but like not nothing like crazy about it. It's just I've spent a lot of time in America. I've raced in America all my life, so I don't necessarily see myself as British.
And what does it mean to compete in the nation's capital?
Yeah, it's great. It's so cool. I just got to walk across Pennsylvania Avenue, seeing the Capitol building down at the end of the straight, and seeing all pit lanes set up and all of that. It just looks incredible, and just the way the whole city's kind of rallied around this race has been really great. So, yeah, it's a huge honor and very surreal for sure.
And how are you going to be prepping tonight going into tomorrow with so much unknowns?
Man, I mean, we'll get on track and go take a look at what it looks like, how the track surface looks, and the walls and everything, and kind of get a lay of the land. But it's just not much you can do till you get out on track, really. So we'll make the predictions that we think, and then we'll go find out if they're true tomorrow. Thanks.
What do the stakes feel like for you? Like, how does this race compare to the rest of the schedule? Like, do you compare it to the Indy 500?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know that it's quite Indy 500 level necessarily, but it's definitely up there. I mean, this is a once in a lifetime event, and it's going to be our longest street course race ever. So it's going to be more of a kind of endurance almost race for us in terms of length, similar to the 500. So in those kinds of sense, I guess you could compare it, and yeah, I mean, the trophy looks beautiful. It'd be incredible to win that thing. So yeah, absolutely. There's a lot of prestige around this race, and